Hello and welcome back to Cooking for Two 101. It's fall, it's nasty outside, and we're gonna make some soup. And we want it fast, so we're gonna make it in the Instant Pot. We are making loaded baked potato soup. It takes maybe, 5 minutes in there, but maybe 20 minutes altogether. We're gonna start by sauteing 4 pieces of bacon that I've chopped up into little cubes or diced up or whatever you want to call it. And we're going to saute this down in the Instant Pot because we want to keep some of that bacon grease and it's going to flavor our soup. This is going to take a minute and you know what comes next. We'll be back. Okay, the bacon has rendered. It's delivered to us its delicious juices. I am pulling out a little bit to garnish our soup with. Next, we are going to add a half of diced white onion and 3 stalks of diced celery. You don't have to put celery in, but celery gives it such flavor. It's a flavor that if it was there, you would miss. If it wasn't there, you'd miss it. And you wouldn't notice if it was there because it just goes, oh, this is such a good soup. So that's what we're doing, onion and celery. We're gonna let this cook down into the bacon fat. We're gonna let the onion become a little translucent, and we're gonna have the celery's gonna get a little soft, and then we're gonna add some garlic. While that's happening, I'm going to peel 1.5 pounds of golden potatoes. Boring, you don't need to watch that. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, the onions and celery are nice and sauteed. They're glistening, they're a little bit translucent, it's perfect. While that was happening, I diced up 1.5 pounds of potatoes. I did peel them, you don't have to, but it does make for a smoother soup. Next, we are going to add just maybe 2 teaspoons of garlic. I don't like a lot of garlic in this soup. If you like more garlic, put some more garlic in. But try it first and then decide. We're going to saute that around until it starts to smell, which doesn't take very long, but you don't want it to burn, so you got to really pay attention to this part. Next, what we're going to do is add some chicken broth to bring up all the fond that has developed from the bacon and the onions cooking. So I'm just going to start out with a little splash just to cover the bottom, and I'm going to pull up all of that brown goodness. All in all, you're probably going to use about maybe 3-4 cups of chicken broth, depending on how many potatoes or how much vegetables you put in. But anyway, this is going to take a second. You know you're done when there's no more resistance at the bottom of the pan. We'll be right back. Okay, so the pot is totally deglazed. All of that yumminess is now going to be in our soup. Yay! I'm going to add about a teaspoon of chicken bouillon flavor. Potatoes need a lot of flavor. They don't really taste like anything. So you can use a bouillon cube. You could use powdered bouillon. I happen to be using Better Than bouillon. But you have to add something. Just a little bit of something. Okay, stirring that in. And now I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Not too much, because bouillon is, well, I guess it's another way of saying salt. And some pepper. And a little bit of fresh parsley. Gives it that green yumminess that makes the soup look delicious. And now I'm going to add almost all of this chicken broth. It's 4 cups in there. We've already used a little bit. I'm going to start off with maybe half of the box. Stir it all around a bit. Oh, look how good that looks. Yum, so delicious. And now I'm going to put in the potatoes. Cut them all up. You want them to sort of be the same size so they cook at the same time. Everybody gets done when it's their time and not later. And you want them to cover the potatoes just slightly. You don't want too much in there, which is exactly what we've got here. So I'm going to put the lid on. We're going to cook this for 5 minutes on high. We'll be back soon. Okay, so the soup has cooked on pressure cook on high for 5 minutes. Then we did a natural release for 5 minutes. And then we pushed a little button and stood back because that's scary. And here's where we're at. Bubbly hot soup. We are going to thicken this up with 1.5 cups of milk and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. We didn't do a slurry in the beginning with flour because you can't really cook milk products in a Instant Pot. So that's what we're doing. We're going to heat it up. We're going to turn this on, saute. I turned it off, but now we're going to turn it back on, saute on high and press start. And we're going to bring the slurry to a boil. I'm going to pour it in slowly and stir it around. And as it heats up, it will thicken. It'll take a minute. We'll be right back. Okay, the soup has come up to a boil, and so the cornstarch is thickening, it's hard to say, it up. We're going to add 3 big tablespoons of sour cream. This is going to give it a little bit of tang, which is the beautiful part about sour cream, and also help thicken it. If it doesn't get thick enough, you can always use your immersion blender and help that out. So now that I've added the sour cream, added the sour cream, I'm going to turn off the Instant Pot. You don't want to, you don't want to scald the milk or the sour cream or any of that business. So here we go. We're going to stir it up, and we're going to taste it for salt and pepper. It's good, but it really does need some salt and pepper. So potatoes take up a lot of seasoning. I mean, you need some salt and pepper in this soup. Make potatoes taste good. So that's what we're doing. 2 big pinches of salt, several grinds of black pepper, and some of this fresh parsley, because yum, it'll be delicious. All right, let's spin it all around. We're going to serve it up here, but it's going to need to cool. So we'll be right back. All right, I scooped some into a bowl and I did taste it. I think it needs a little bit more salt and some pepper, and it needs to be loaded like a baked potato. So I'm going to start with some grated cheddar cheese and some scallions. You could use chives if you want to. Some of those bacon bits, delicious. A little dollop Eau de sour cream. Boop. And that's it. Let's give it a try. Oh, so pretty. Yum. I hope it's cool enough. I sort of tried to wait, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, the cheese is melting instantly. It's so good. It's such a warm hug of a soup. It's salty, it's creamy, it's warm. It's got crispiness from the onions and the bacon. It's just delicious. Surprise someone you know. Make them loaded baked potato soup. It doesn't take any time in that Instant Pot. You could do it. You can. It's easy. All right. Thanks for watching Cooking for Two 101. Don't forget to like. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll see you soon.